Hello, Carl Giannotti here, Platinum member of MOB, My Online Business Education, and today we're going to talk about choosing a domain name and a hosting service. In this video, you're going to learn how to choose a domain name and hosting service to help you in your quest as an online marketer to maintain traffic and conversions on your website or blog. Your goal when picking a domain name is to choose a name that not only represents your brand and lets people know what you're about and what's unique about you, but also position your website to influence customers' minds. You'll want to include keywords in your domain name so that it's much more likely to come up in search engine results when people are searching for a particular phrase that's also in your domain name. Here are some tips for choosing a good domain name. The first is to keep it short. Now, it might be hard to find a domain name that's only one word, 2 words, even 3 words, but I would go for 3 if possible, otherwise 4. Keep it memorable, something that's catchy and is going to stand out in people's minds. That's not easily confused. Like I said, make it clear what you're all about and what they're going to get there. Here are some tips for choosing a good domain name. The first is to keep it short. Now, it might be hard to find a domain name that's only 1 word, 2 words, or even 3 words, but I would go for 3 if possible, otherwise 4. Keep it memorable, something that's catchy and is going to stand out in people's minds. That's not easily confused. Like I said, make it clear what you're all about and what they're going to get there to the degree that you can, and also something that's hard to misspell. If it's a certain word or your last name or some kind of industry jargon, then keep it simple. Also, it needs to relate to the core of your business. Like I said, it should tell people what you do and what they can expect once you get there. If you do that, you will be more likely to get people typing it in, coming to your site, and they will be a little more pre-qualified and ready to convert once they get there. Once you've brainstormed a couple of suitable domain names, the next step is to search and see if they're available or if someone else is using them already. The easiest way to do this is not to bother checking if they're available as you're brainstorming them. Just make a list on a piece of paper as fast as you can of every possible name and variation that would work for you. Then go to the same place you would to purchase your domain name. I'll give you a couple places to go later and type in the domain name and see if it's available. Now narrow it down. See which ones are left, and then of those that are available, pick the perfect one for you. The next step is to choose a place to purchase and register your domain. The most popular domain registrar is GoDaddy.com. You've probably seen their Super Bowl commercials. They've done a pretty good job. A lot of complaints, though, come through them, though it's hard to transfer out later on. I prefer Namecheap. The domains are a little bit less and not as much upselling and confusion when you are in the process of purchasing it in your shopping cart. And you can also get a domain name through the same company that you use for hosting. We'll cover those in a minute, but if you're using Bluehost for hosting, for example, you can also purchase a domain name through Bluehost that could save you some time, as you won't have to transfer the name servers later, which is a small step but can be confusing at first if you've never done it. Once you've got your domain name taken, then it's time to choose a hosting service. So what is it? What is that exactly? Well, I won't bore you with too much technical details, but long story short, things appear on the internet on certain websites because those websites are hosted and all of the pages and words and images and videos are saved somewhere in the cloud using servers like the one you see here in this picture. So basically you have to pay a certain company a fee each month in order to have your website connected, appear on the page when people go there. Now here's a couple of criteria to keep in mind when you're choosing a hosting company to use. First, look at the price, what you get for the hosting package that you're ordering at, how much you can save online, how much traffic it can handle. If it's just for a small, low-traffic website, then just look for something that's less expensive, but also has important features for you to use. Something that makes it very easy to upload new plugins for your WordPress site, new content, new videos, easy to give access to someone else, and easy to create email addresses and forwarding addresses for your domain name. Also, how good is their help and support? Do a little research on a company first to find this out. If you run into trouble, will they pick up the phone? Will they get back to you within a day or two and answer any questions that you have? Now there's a couple hosting companies that you can use. GoDaddy offers hosting. Bluehost is also a good hosting service. Both of those allow for unlimited data storage, which is not completely unlimited, but is more than you probably need unless you're a big internet marketer. You pretty much pay for the whole year in advance, and you can host as many domains as you want just with one account. So basically, why pay $10 per month per website if you can just pay $120 a year or whatever and have as many websites as you want? Also, it's with the search engines, having it for a year to 2 years helps you in your rankings. HostGator is similar to Bluehost, and there are also 3 new ones on the scene worth looking into. JustHost, iPage, and Arvixi. Once you've gotten a domain name and hosting set up, then it's time to create your website. Your website is going to be the central place for people to find what you have to offer and make purchases. It's very important that your website is set up to be appealing and also influence people to take the actions you want them to take while subscribing or making that purchase. So in order to find out new ways of getting people to your site or helping them to subscribe or turn into a sale, click the subscribe button here and follow us for more educational videos as we come out with them. To you and your success in your business, and have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.